In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories. Dum dum!
It's the Pesto Pod, the Pesto Pod, the Pesto Pod.
Dum 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 dee nee 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 dum 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 doo do 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 dee doo 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 dum 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 dum. What do we got? Well, the victim's a Caucasian female. She part of the trade? Yeah, it looks like she's a pro. She's been doing this for a while. The victim's got anal contusions. Does that mean she's been sliced up the butthole? Yeah, Ice. That's what that means. What the fuck did I just start getting myself into? Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Pesto Pod. Sorry I'm a day late. It's been a rough kick in the pants. I'll tell you all about it. Basically, so I made a TikTok about this, but that was the Spark Notes version. This is the lore. I don't do well with ganja. The devil's lettuce, Satan's spaghetti. You know how it is. I don't do super well with it. I used to, which is so weird. I used to smoke pot in college and in high school with my friends. Like in high school a lot. Like on the weekends. That's what we did. And I enjoyed it. But I don't know what happened. One time in college I had my first ever like green out where I was like really, really freaking out. And I guess ever since then, like it's such a gamble. Sometimes I can smoke or take a gummy or something and I feel fine, and other times it gives me so much anxiety that I'm like, what was the fucking point? Like, this is the opposite of what it's supposed to be doing for me, you know? So I don't do it super often. I'll typically only ever do it if I'm in like a super 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 comfortable environment. Like I have a best friend from home, and if the two of us are ever together and we're like camping around a bonfire, like that is an example of a great time that I will try to indulge. And last time I did it was over the summer, so it's been a while, and it was great. I had a great night's sleep. I had a great relaxing like high. I wasn't like tripping balls. I wasn't like seeing the sky melt, but I was just like very relaxed. We had a few laughs. I went to bed, had a great night's sleep. I haven't been sleeping well lately. I don't know what it is. I just struggle to fall asleep. It takes me a couple hours before I actually fall asleep. And so I was like, I want to try to get into, you know, everyone I know. This is something I also like, as I've aged and become an adult, every single grown-up from my childhood I discovered smokes weed. Every single one. That is, you know, you're an adult when you learn that, like, oh, every single teacher I've ever had, my parents, my grandparents, every single person in, like, every family member, everyone in my life be smoking that ganj. It's just how it is. I had no idea. I always thought, I was like, I'm doing drugs. I'm a bad kid doing drugs behind the school. Ugh. But then I learned literally no one cares. Literally everyone's doing it. It's not that bad. I think in a lot of cases, getting really drunk is worse than smoking a bunch of weed. It's way more dangerous. That being said, I decided to go to a dispensary because I want like a professional to tell me like, oh, well, no wonder what you're smoking is like 34% sativa. I don't know weed like that. And here's a strain that's really good for sleep and low anxiety, whatever. So that's what I did. I went to this dispensary, and I'm very, very conscious of like, I want to make sure if I'm buying marijuana, which is legal in New York State, I need it to be like FDA approved up the arse. Like I want it to be good quality, like safe stuff, because I watch too much Intervention to fucking smoke something I bought from one of my friends and it be laced with Satan himself. So I go to this dispensary. It's this really bougie, upscale one in Soho, women owned. I walk in. It's beautiful. I'm like, is this an emerald green shade on the walls? Like, is this a fucking vintage couch? Like, it was beautiful in there. And it was actually a dude working, ironically. The guy, I told him, I was like, listen, when I smoke, like 7 out of 10 times it gives me a lot of anxiety and I really want to curb that. And he was like, yes, it sounds like you need something that's more CBD heavy and not THC heavy. I don't know anything about that. I said, sure. What? He gives me an array of fancy girly pop little treats. And there's the packaging is so aesthetic and beautiful. What an industry, let me tell you. And I was like, which one's the cheapest that you'd recommend? And he said this one. And it's this cute little like purple brand. I don't know it off the top of my head. Purple box. It's so cute. It's these little treats. It also comes with a matchbox. How cute and girly. And he's like, these are super, super low intensity. Like, I don't feel anything from these. I think you will be fine. And I was like, okay, I love it. It was kind of expensive, but I was like, this is what I'm here for. I'm here to spend money on good quality stuff. So I bought them. I've never, ever been to a dispensary before. Very pleasurable experience. I don't think I'll return. Not due to them in any case, but because clearly gardening is not a hobby that sits well with me, because I take what I was given, the correct dose and everything, and I'm chilling out. My friends were over. We played some Mario Kart, as one does. I watched a little bit of Law and Order SVU, as I do, obviously. And what happens? I'm fucking heart palpitating. I'm having racing thoughts. I'm thinking about everything I've ever done wrong in my entire life. I'm thinking of everyone I've ever met. I'm thinking of every interaction I've ever had. I said, when I was in elementary school, I always wanted to write a book. Why don't I write a book? And then I'm sitting upright in bed. Imagine walking into my bedroom at like 3 a.m. and you see my bed and I'm sitting upright in it in the dark, sitting there. I'm thinking, I'm going to start with a girl. Her name's going to be this, and she's going to. And I'm writing a book in my head. I'm writing a crime novella. Hello? I did not sleep. I did not sleep at all. I was so anxious. I did a lot of crossword puzzles trying to assuage my nervousness. Didn't do anything. I remember looking out the window and seeing the sun rising. I said, oh, it's getting light outside. Okay. Pulled an all-nighter. Great. Good. I'm laying in bed. I'm so disappointed in myself. I'm like, I'm literally probably would have had a better night's sleep if I didn't even try to take this stupid fucking treat that was supposed to help my sleep. And I'm laying in bed so mad. And then I finally feel myself kind of dozing off. It's probably like 8 a.m. at this point. Finally starting to doze off. I get a phone call. Are you kidding me? Someone better be dead. I answer the phone. It's my bestie, Sarah. We all know bestie Sarah. She lives like 1 block over from me, which is very convenient for me and my love of Mario Kart. She's like, Julia, it's happening. It's outside right now. They're filming. And I know exactly what she's talking about because I've been waiting my entire life for those words. Every single time I leave the house in this fucking city, I think, is this going to be the time that I see them filming Law and Order SVU? Is this going to be the moment that my entire stupid little life has worked for? And it never has been. And thereafter, a night of ganja-induced panic, don't you know, I got the call that in my fucking neighborhood, they were filming Law and Order SVU. I get out of bed. I don't even change I'm in sweatpants and a t-shirt, no bra. Don't even change. I throw on my glasses. I throw my hair up. I don't brush my teeth or put on deodorant. I fucking run out the door and on my elevator button. I'm in the elevator with my neighbor, Julie, who for some reason always thinks my name is Madeline. Hello, Madeline. I go, hi, Julie. I don't even correct her at this point. We get in the elevator. We ride in silence until I get down. I fucking sprint. You've never seen me run before, and you never will. But cross my heart, swear to die. I fucking take off in a full Usain Bolt sprint to the location where Sarah was. And sure enough, it looks like SWAT had just invaded an apartment because there's all these police cars out there. They're fake police cars because they're filming Law and Order SVU. So I run to what looks like a crime scene, and I see there's like signs that are like no parking, film set in progress. I see all these people with t-shirts that are like production, whatever. I'm like, oh my God, this is it. This is it. I walk up. I see Sarah. She's standing under an awning. It's pouring rain, by the way. She's standing under an awning, and she goes, Julia, right behind you, there's a black SUV, and Mariska is in the passenger seat. She's like, don't look now, but that's what's happening. And I always thought the day I saw Mariska Hargitay on the streets, I would cry. I wasn't going to cry. I was going to puke. I said, oh, my intestines went, oh, Olivia Benson's here. And I'm also going off of absolutely no sleep and a pure adrenaline anxiety rush. And Mariska Hargitay is in an SUV behind me, and I like very casually and calmly turn around, and there she is. She's on the phone. She's so beautiful and perfect. She's so beautiful and perfect. I see her. There she is. That's Captain Olivia Benson. Oh, Captain, my Captain. There she is sitting in a fucking SUV minding her business. And I look like an urchin, and I'm standing 12 feet from her. And I'm like, oh my God, don't look at her. Oh my God, I have to look at her. Oh my God, don't make eye contact with me. Wait, notice me, please. It was the craziest rush of emotions and adrenaline I've ever experienced in my entire life. And I was fighting back vomit because I was it's a culmination of my entire life's wants and needs. It was incredible. And Sarah is a big Law and Order fan too, but obviously she respects me for my grind because she knew to call me. We're standing under this awning, and she's like, I saw her get into the car, but I don't know when she's going to get out. I could see her through the window, but all I wanted to see was her like walk by. Okay. So we stand there, and it was actually really cool because I don't know if you guys remember the lore, but I used to be a film major. I have a degree in film and television production. And it was really cool because I was a PA very briefly at a production company that did just like commercials and like really low key stuff. But I know that I've seen the PA grind, and it was very cool to see everyone like busting their ass, especially like being a PA is a thankless job. No one wants the time of day with you, and you get paid very little, and the hours are insane, but you're doing a lot of work, and it's just like, no, you don't get no credit. It was really cool to watch all these people that were like similarly to my age, and they were just like running around, like holding signs and helping with the equipment. And oh my God, it was so cool. I've felt the energy, the film set energy. At one point, this guy who was not a PA, he definitely was like higher up than a PA, asked us to back up because we weren't like in a shot or anything, but they just needed like equipment where we were standing. And he was like, are you guys here to watch? And we were like, yeah, well, like not a big deal. We just wanted like a little glimpse, like please don't kick us out. And he was like, yeah, no problem. Just back up a little bit. And then I was like, where would be a better spot? Like, is there a better spot for us to stand right now? And he's like, no, you're cool where you are. And then he said, or, your couch at home, meaning like leave. And I was like, sir, you don't know what this is for me. You don't know how I remember when I was a freshman in college learning that Mariska Hargitay had an apartment in the Upper West Side that she stayed in while she was filming. And I said, guess I'm moving to the Upper West Side when I graduate, because I need to know that there is a small chance in this fucking floating rock of dead plants that we're fucking stuck on, hurtling through space. I need to know that there is a 1 in a billion chance that I can be walking down the street and pass Mariska Hargitay. I need that. I need that to live. Like I need oxygen. And so I fucking stood there, and then they're like, all right, we're gonna film this one more time, and then I think we're good. And some little PA with an umbrella goes over to the SUV and holds the umbrella open so that Mariska girl can come out of the SUV, and she walks and she passes me. She passes by me. Oh my God, I could literally puke again thinking about it. She passes by me with this aura of sheer divine feminine knowledge and power. What a woman. What a woman. I identify as straight, but I'll do anything for my girl Mariska. I really will. But also not because like she's mother. It's a very complex relationship. She waltzes by, and standing on the fucking corner, I notice Ice-T, my hero. I don't know if you know that my pet beta fish that I'm looking at right now that's chilling on my nightstand, his name is Detective Odafin Tuduola because he is named after His Highness Ice-T. Mariska and Ice-T, they meet at the corner and then they're like, all right, and action. And I watch them come around the corner and I hear Mariska go, what do we got? Oh, mama. It felt like I was on a roller coaster and you drop and your like uterus drops into your knees. Do you know what I'm talking about? Ah! It was the craziest feeling in the world. And it was I watched it happen. I wanted to cry and scream and puke and jizz. It was amazing. And then a woman came up to me and Sarah, and she was like very strange and had a custom made shirt of Mariska Hargitay that said wifey. And she was like, are you guys here to watch Mariska? And we were like, yeah. And then I was like, oh man, I don't want her to think I'm like this weird. Respect the grind, obviously. I love like a Mariska lover such as myself, but like we can't be wearing our custom shirts to her job, to her 9 to 5. And I was like, oh man, I can't just be standing here watching her with like my mouth hanging open, and like that's so weird. So as soon as she like wrapped that take, I left. I'm sure that the girl that was there watching like stayed and maybe asked for an autograph or a picture or something when they were done with the shoot. But like, I didn't want to do that. The thought of talking to her makes me nauseous. I can't imagine talking to her. She's my hero. She's the most amazing woman in the world. Mariska Hargitay. Let me tell you about her. Jane Mansfield's daughter. So she's like born into this Hollywood life, but like never really knew her mom because her mom died when she was really young. And she, got the job on Law and Order in 99, and she's been on it ever since. And then she started her own foundation called the Joyful Heart Foundation because while she was working on Law and Order SVU, like people, like survivors would write into her and be like, hey, it's like so healing to see, even though you're not a real detective, it's nice to see like a portrayal of a detective that really cares about sexual assault victims. And she was like slay mama, and she started her own fucking charity that supports victims of sexual assault and advocates for the rape kit testing. You know how like rape kits are not tested like cohesively? Is that the word I'm looking for? There's a like traffic jam. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a backlog. Stop the backlog. That's what it's called. Holy shit. I gotta sleep. Anyway, there's a backlog of rape kits, meaning that when like a victim comes in and gets a rape kit done after a sexual assault, they like store all that DNA and all that evidence, whatever, and put it in like literally like a kit, like a little box. And it basically sits on a shelf in a police station. They don't test it right away. And sometimes they never test it. And then if it's like a really old building and like a really shitty underfunded police department, those samples can get like contaminated very easily. Like if it's like a building with like mold or something, and then those samples are useless. And then a victim's whole fucking trauma was worth nothing. So Mother Mariska obviously took it upon herself, being cast into this role that is so fucking shining light on this issue. She was like, no, screw it. I'm going to use my wealth and power to like actually do something about this, which is incredible. And she started this charity that like fights to end the rape kit backlog. And she like goes to these like events and speaks about sexual assault. I think she actually worked as a victim crisis counselor before starting the job on Law and Order because she wanted to like know what it is like in this field. Like she's so incredible. And like just listening to her talk, like she's the most poised, graceful, amazing speaker. And she's beautiful, obvi, and I don't know. Every interview I've ever seen with her, she seems so nice and so down to earth, and she seems like she cares so much. I know this is such a parasocial relationship. Like I have no idea what she's like. She could be a horrible diva on set, but I did not witness that personally when I watched her on set yesterday because I was on the set yesterday of Law and Order. Did you guys know that I saw her yesterday on the set of Law and Order? Anyway. It was so cool. I got to see my hero. She is my hero. She's the number one celebrity I've always wanted to meet. She is the lock screen on my phone. And I love her. I love Mariska. And I love Ice-T. Ice-T on Law & Order has the best one-liners. All the best lines in the entire series are spoken by Ice-T. And there's a John Mulaney does a bit in one of his stand-up shows where it's like, how come it's always like it's Ice-T's first day on the job? Like, they're like, oh, our perp is a sex addict. And he's like, is that like when someone drinks too much alcohol or snorts cocaine or bets too much money on the ponies? And they're like, yes, Ice, that's what addiction means. Like, what? You work in sex crimes. Why don't you know this? And yeah, I think it's in the John Mulaney bit where he's like doing an Ice-T impression. He's like, the Vic has anal contusions. And they're like, why is it always anal contusions? The victim was found with semen in its ear canal. Ma'am, it's a Thursday at 5 p.m. Why are we hearing about semen in the ear canal? But who else but Ice? And my favorite Ice-T line also is when he's with Munch, like in some sting, and they're interviewing some guy, and the guy's like, who's that? And Ice goes, this is my Jew. Now start talking. And then afterwards, Munch goes, your Jew? Why did you call me your Jew? What if I called you my boy? And Ice goes, I'll be your boy, John. My friends and I say that to each other a lot. I'll be your boy, John. He has the best one-liners. I don't even know the context, but I know that there's an episode where he goes into a room full of pimps, and he goes, fact, you are all now my bitches. Ice fucking T on a Thursday night is saying that on my TV screen. What's going on? And there's one where he busts a drug lord, and he goes, buenos dias, pendejo. What a guy. What a guy. He's so funny. I can't tell if he's like a good actor or if he just kind of like is there and I'm just used to him. Because like I remember there being one episode where Rollins gets like beat up by her bookie or something. And she's like, he hit me. And it's like very dramatic. And then Ice is like, are you okay? Like he's asking if someone stubbed their toe. She got beat up by her bookie. You okay? What a guy. What a guy, Ice fucking T. Let me go through the ranking of the Law and Order Special Victims characters in order of fuckability. And this is not pre-documented. This is off the top of my head. But let's see what I can do here. Obviously, number 1 is Olivia Benson. Number 2 is obviously Chris Maloney. I was going to say Chris Stabler. Elliot Stabler. Those two are self-explanatory. Number 3, I think, has got to be Ice, right? Just like sheer aura, that man screams fuckability. Also, think about having sex with Ice-T afterwards. The one-liner he says when you're done is going to be incredible. You're going to have sex with Ice-T and then he's going to be like, I guess that's why they pay you the big bucks, huh? What? What, Ice? Yeah, that's number 3. Number 4, let's see. It's got to be maybe like Carisi / Rollins. Both of them are hot. But then there's Barba too. But Barba kind of gives like girly pop vibes, right? And then we got fucking Alex Cabot, who's like, you know, like lesbian icon. Even though, is she ever lesbian in the show? Unsure. But she is in my headcanon. Oh my God, they're all just like... And then Munch. Munch ain't off the table. My boy Munch. Hey. That's my boy. Oh, what a good show. I've seen well, you know what? I think I've seen every single episode 100% from the first season to the 13th season. But then afterwards, I kind of jumped around. There's probably a few stragglers that I haven't seen because I obviously liked it when Stabler was on it. And then it goes in now, ever since Stabler left, it goes in waves of being good because I definitely watched season 13 with Amaro. I watched season 14. 15 is where William Lewis gets in, and I can't watch that because, again, I have a parasocial relationship with the fictional character of Olivia Benson, and seeing her be abused makes me have to vomit. So, like, I can't even watch it. I cannot even watch that man have his way with my girl. So, those seasons give me anxiety. I've seen them, but I've blocked them out. And then, I don't know. I feel like I remember Stone being there. And is Barba after Stone or before Stone? I think Barba's before Stone, and then comes Stone. And now we got Carisi. I think that's right. I think that's correct data. Something also fun is very recently, like this year, a girl from my high school was on Law & Order. And was one of the Vics. And I was like, I know that girl. I went to high school with her. And now she's out here in a scene with my girl Mariska. Life is so unfair. If anyone out there works on Law and Order SVU, my name is Julia Leahy, and I would love to play a dead body. Please, just for one. I just need to share the screen with her for 1 second. Paint my face white and have me in a dumpster and have me be the Vic. And please have her be like, it looks like ligature marks, signs of a struggle. Thank you. Thank you for caring about my case, Mariska. Oh my God, I love her so much. I love crime. I love crime. Seriously. I know it's like a thing everyone's like, oh, every white woman loves to watch true crime and it's problematic. It probably is. I love it. I watch Criminal Minds. I love Forensic Files. What other crime shows do I watch? Criminal Minds, Forensic Files. I went through a brief CSI phase. I watch every single like true crime documentary that comes out. I just watched Gabby Petito, horrifying. I watch everything, bruh. Everything. I watched what was the one that last year was the Menendez brothers, the trial or the documentary and the reenactment. Watched both of those, lapped them up. Like, I know it's so messed up to be like fascinated by crime, but I just really am. Like, I don't know. I would love to be a detective in another life. I think I would absolutely kill it, but also I'd gag because I can't do blood. But a girl can dream. And I don't know what it is, like Law and Order. Oh my God, wait. Somewhere on the fuckability list is Warner, the Emmy. She's in there too. She's hot. But something about Law and Order, like, I think because there's not quite as much murder as there is just like women healing, it really does something to me. I know that's probably like a trauma response to something, but oh God, I love it. I really do. I really, really do. The best episode, obviously, is 911 from season 7, in which Mariska Hargitay wins her Emmy because she rescues Maria from Richard. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Wow, that was so much information. The moral of the story, I mean, the conclusion to the story is I got home after watching Mariska Hargitay do a scene of Law and Order in real life with my real eyes. And I laid down in my bed and I passed the fuck out and I slept until 4 p.m. I slept like 6 hours in the middle of the day. And weirdly woke up to my other friend calling me to tell me that her sister was engaged. So it was like just a crazy 12 hours of data that occurred. And now I'm like really, really messed up because I'm so out of it. I took last night after I woke up in the middle of the day, I had to go to this tasting for a restaurant that like graciously invited me to like a tasting menu. It was incredible. It was the best experience of my life. It's called Freyna. If you're ever in New York City and you want really good Mediterranean food, Freyna is the place to go. I had the best lamb kebab I've ever had in my entire life. And after this dinner, we come back. I'm like not tired at all because I slept all day. And I was like, no, I need to get back on a schedule. So I took a Unisom, which is a sleeping pill that I would not recommend unless you want to be absolutely dead weight, unalive, unable to wake up to a smoke alarm. It is like the most powerful over-the-counter sleeping medicine I've ever taken. But I popped Unisom and I got a delightful 8 hours last night. The downside of that is you wake up feeling like you just fought in a war. So I'm like a little out of it, but that's why I didn't record, because I was supposed to record yesterday and I fell asleep and slept the entire day. I always film on Mondays and my Monday was slept through. So here I am now in the flesh. And at least I had all my dreams come true with Marishki poo. Da, 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 da. Ugh, love. If I think about it too much, it makes me nauseous, actually. I can't decide if I would ever want to speak to her in real life, because it would break my heart if she was like mean, because she's my hero. So that can't happen. She's like Meryl Streep. I've heard Meryl Streep is like kind of diva, and I'm like, I don't want to know that. I need to never meet Meryl Streep because it would break my heart. I need to just like see her as a concept and not a real person. But I've heard from a lot of people that Mariska Hargitay is really kind, and hopefully that's true. And the 2 seconds that I saw of her saying, "What do we got?" I was like, wow, what a good person. So there you go. Sorry, that was a lot of yapping about Law and Order, but like, put me on a tangent about fucking a crime TV show, and you're cooked because I will yap. Yeah, thanks for putting up with me. That's all I got. I have like literally nothing else exciting happen to me this week, except that I saw Mariska Hargitay. I have to go take a nap. Bye. Thanks for watching. See you next week.